How is everyone today? I'm going to make some snack candy today. And it's going to be really quick and simple. And I think you'll enjoy it because it's really good to eat. And then I wanted to show you my really pretty apron that I got from a dear friend named Vicki Sears. And I want to thank you again, Vicki, for sending me some aprons, some Christmas aprons, and some prep containers. I'm so excited to use those. And thank you again, Vicki. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching my videos. What I'm getting ready to do is, I have over here on the counter a cookie sheet full of Ritz crackers on parchment paper, and there's 54 Ritz crackers on here. I can bring the camera over here and show you. There's 54 crackers on the cookie sheet. Can you see all those? Okay. And what we're gonna do over here on the stove is I've got a cup of butter, 2 sticks of butter in the pan here, melting. And I'm gonna add this cup of brown sugar, and when it comes to a boil, I'm gonna boil it for 3 minutes. Go ahead and put the brown sugar in. This is called Christmas crack candy. Oh, I don't know where they come up with that name. Anyway, I'm gonna stir this all up good. Now, when this comes to a boil, you don't want to stir it anymore. Stop stirring and let it boil for 3 minutes. Then we're going to take it off of the stove and pour it over those crackers. And we're going to bake them in the oven, and I've got the oven on 400. I'm going to make sure that brown sugar gets stirred up in there good with the butter. I don't buy too many sweets at the grocery store. And then once in a while I get hungry for something. And this is a quick little easy way to make something that really tastes good. So I'm going to take the spoon out. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope everybody's being safe around the COVID. And I hope you'll all have a wonderful Christmas. Okay, the stove is heated now to 400, and as soon as this starts to boil, I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes and let this boil for 3 minutes. I'll shut the camera off for just a little bit, and then I'll come back on and we'll pour it over the crackers, and I'll put the crackers in the oven, and we're going to bake them for 4 minutes in the oven. We're going to turn the oven off, and then we're going to let it set for a minute. And then we're going to take it out and do something else really good to it. You're going to really like this. Okay, now it's starting to come to a boil. But it's not a rolling boil, so I'm going to wait so I can start timing it. I leave my skillets up here a lot of times on the stove because a lot of times I put them in the oven, but it's hard for me to get them in and out. They're so heavy. So I sometimes just leave them up here on top of the stove if you wonder why they're up here. And if we get these done, we may do another little surprise. Okay, it's just starting to come to a boil around the edge and just a little bit in the middle. So I don't want to turn the timer on quite yet. Okay. It's starting to boil real nice. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off, let this go ahead and cook for 3 minutes, and then when I'm ready to pour it over the crackers, I'll be right back on. Okay, this is all done and looks yummy. I'm gonna try to drizzle this all over the cookie sheet and get it all on the crackers. Oh, this smells so good. I'm gonna spread this over the top of it and get it on all the crackers. Set that spoon down. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. The brown sugar makes it smell like praline. Okay, into the oven. I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna bake it for 4 minutes, and then turn the oven off and let it set for 1 minute, and then I'll be back to show you what else we're gonna do. Okay, got them out of the oven. And this is what we're gonna do next. We have 2 cups of chocolate chips. These are milk chocolate. And I'm just gonna sprinkle those on the top, all over the top. And we're gonna let those melt and spread it around. We'll let them sit on there for just a little bit. Get them all melted around. And then I'll smooth it around. And while this is sitting here, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. We're gonna make some really quick brownies. This makes a 8-inch squared pan of brownies. And what I've done is I've got half a cup of flour in the bowl, and I'm going to add a cup of sugar to it, and 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, Hershey's cocoa powder. And then I'm going to stir this all around and mix up the sugar and the flour and the cocoa and get it all mixed up. This is such a simple little way to make brownies. If you don't want to go to the store, you want to hurry up and make some brownies, you can do it just like this. If you keep cocoa on hand, keep some of your baking stuff on hand, you'll always have flour and sugar and eggs. And this takes oil. We're going to put some oil, a half a cup of oil We're going to put, I also in the flour put 1/4 teaspoon of salt in it. So it does have salt in it. Now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of oil, 2 eggs. Woo! He about got away, didn't he? 2 eggs. And some vanilla, teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, we're going to run back over to the stove here before I mix that up and see if we can spread this chocolate around. Yeah, it's not melting very fast. We may just have to leave it on there like that. Usually the chocolate chips will melt up real fast. Now they're starting to. I just maybe didn't leave them long enough. So we'll leave them just a little bit longer. Go back over here to our brownies. Stir this up. Get the eggs all mixed up in there. This smells so chocolatey and good. See how quick that was to stir up a little batch of brownies? How quick. You don't have to beat it very much. Now, we're going to put it in our pan that I've sprayed with Pam. So this is 2 little quick desserts that you can stir up in nothing flat. If you're needing to quench your sweet tooth, that's what you can do really quick. But we're also going to do something else. Let me rinse my hand off here. We're going to put another little surprise on it. If you wanted to, you could put some dollops of peanut butter in here. But I'm going to put these Heath chips. They're English toffee Heath chips. And I'm just going to sprinkle those on top. My daughter, Michelle, always did this on her brownies, and they were so good. And that's why I want to do this on here. It really makes them taste so good with these toffee chips on them. And then what we're going to do is I turn my oven on 350, and I'm going to bake this for 20 minutes. It said 20 to 25, but you be sure and check it and make sure that check it at 20 minutes to make sure that it's not too done. And I'm gonna put this in the oven, work on those chocolate chips on the crack candy, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, this is our last final step to the crack candy. This is gonna make it absolutely over the top. I got the chocolate smoothed out, and we're gonna sprinkle nuts on top. A cup of nuts is what the recipe called for. And I'm using pecans. Then we're gonna let this cool in the fridge. And when it gets cold, we will break it up in pieces and eat it. And it's gonna be so good. Now there's other things that you could put in these brownies. You could even put white vanilla or white chocolate chips in them if you wanted to. You could put, there's peanut butter chips on top and let those melt. There's just a lot of things that you could do with that. Anyway, I've got the brownies in the oven. They're baking, and they got about 15 minutes left. And I'm going to put this in the fridge, this crack candy in the fridge, and let it get cold. And hopefully by the time we get done with the brownies and we come back, that this will be cool down enough that we can get us a piece and try it. I'm sure you've probably all heard of this. It's not nothing new. It's been around for years, but it's something you might not always think about doing. And it's so quick and easy to do, and it's such a nice sweet treat. Anyway, thank you, and I'll be back in a little bit. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. This is the crack candy. It's not really been in the refrigerator long enough, but it's starting to set up. There's a crunch of the cracker, the chocolate and the nuts, and the brown sugar. It is so, so good. I'm going to show you. So good. When this gets finished setting up, there's all kinds of brown sugar on the bottom, and it'll be hard and more crunchy, like almost like a Heath bar. It's so good. You're gonna love this. And it was so easy to make. All you need is some milk chocolate chips. You can use semi-sweet if you want. You could use peanut butter if you wanted. But it wouldn't taste like Heath bar. It's delicious. I'm not kidding. And all you need is Ritz crackers, some Hershey's chocolate chips, milk chocolate chips, your brown sugar, and your butter. And it is so, so good. Now, the brownies were not quite done at 20 minutes. So I set them for 4 more minutes. And I'm going to check them again and see if they're getting done. I had them in, the last batch I made in a aluminum pan. Actually, it was aluminum throwaway pan because I sent it over to Chris's. But this needed, I think it was because and I'm gonna leave it in there for another minute. I think it's because it's a glass pan that it's not cooking quite as fast as it would have if I had it in a aluminum pan or a metal pan. And anyway, they're looking really good in there. But I did go ahead and put the crack candy in the refrigerator so it would set up, and when you get it out, it will break. It'll be hard. You can break it in pieces, and then put it in a container with a lid on it and keep it and get you a piece every time you want to bite. It'll be so handy. And if you make this for some of your Christmas candy, everybody's going to love it, I'm going to tell you, because it has such a good flavor to it. And so really, it didn't take me too long to mix up the brownies. I don't even think it hardly took me 5 minutes. And then we're baking it for 20, so you've got another quick dessert within 30 minutes of being started and finished product. And it's going to be so good with these Heath chips on it too. It'll be really, really good. You'll love it. And the brownie is a moist brownie, and it's real chocolatey. And the Hershey's cocoa makes it taste so good. I'll try to get back on here in just a minute when I take it out and show you. I won't be able to cut it right away because it'll be too hot to cut. But I promise you it's a good brownie because I've tasted it. It's really good and it's quick and you're gonna love it. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and thank you so much for watching. See you later.